Hey there, this is Pokket with MMORPG, continuing the top 10 countdown, this time covering numbers 2 through 4.
Now there are many things I like about PvP and TOR, including Outlaw's Den, but it goes without saying that Huttball is by far my favorite PvP feature in the game. Huttball is essentially football meets soccer. A ball starts out in the center of the war zone, and your team must grab the ball and take it to the enemy's goal line in order to score. Essentially, this is like capture the flag with a twist. The first, and probably more important twist, is that you can pass the Huttball. When you first enter a match, there is an ability that shows up on your action bar called Pass the Huttball. Using this ability and targeting under an ally will cause you to throw the Huttball, should it be in your possession. That being said, an enemy can intercept the ball, or an ally can move out of the way of the pass, rendering the ball neutral and causing it to reset in the center. If that weren't enough, getting killed with the ball puts it in the enemy possession. Now to get to the layout of the map. The most notable, and probably the hardest part of the map to get used to, is the fact that it's almost completely comprised of catwalks. The catwalks can be used to your advantage, of course, but it can easily be used against you, especially with players that have knockbacks and end up knocking you down to the bottom floor with ease. There are fire pits strategically placed around the map that if caught in it will result in death, and can be used to put distance between you and your enemies, or be used to knock or stun your enemies into the fire. There are also poison pits at the bottom center level that take a player's health down at a decent pace and slow them. If not under attack by enemies, and if your health is near max, this often won't result in death. However, shoving enemies into this pit to get them away from you or finish them off is definitely helpful in a bunched up fight. There are air vents that thrust you into the air in a random direction. Where will you go? This isn't really known until you're already flying into the air. Really, if anything, this is to be used as a quick escape, but I wouldn't use the air vents at all if you're actually trying to make your way in a specific direction, because more than half the time you won't end up flying that way. In the map, there are 2 speed buffs and 4 heals that can be used to aid your allies or enemies in battles. The speed buffs can become really crucial if you end up getting knocked off the catwalk to the bottom floor, and the heals, obviously if you're low on health. Overall, this map gave me quite the surprise with how deep it took a simple capture the flag ideal and turned it into what we know as Huttball. All of this being said, the one downside to the map is that it can be quite frustrating to learn. It takes time and even teamwork to reach mild success. In pug groups, we all know how teamwork sometimes becomes non-existent. The only advice is to not get discouraged and to keep playing the map. Eventually, you may even consider it your favorite. In the future, I plan on doing a guide to Huttball. But enough about Huttball, let's move on to number 3, the companion system. The companion system took me by surprise. I really didn't expect to like companions as much as I do now. I thought it was really lame that basically everyone was going to get a pet, and I thought it'd be OP that some classes may do better than others. But after playing in the beta and trying out over 5 characters and their respective companions, I really feel this system is quite awesome. The companions I receive with my characters often help what class I was currently playing. Maybe spoilers incoming. On my Jedi Consular, I got Kaizen, a tanking character for a light armor class. On my Bounty Hunter, I got Mako, then Galt. Mako with healing capability in case I go DPS, and Galt with DPS ability in case I go heals, and so on. This is extremely helpful, but let's not forget affection. Gaining affection with your companions opened up quests, and I didn't experience this myself, but eventually you can gain light side or dark side points for them. They can sell your trash items, complete your crafting, they can add cool perspectives and cutscenes, as well as while running around in the world. Replayability definitely gets a spot at number 2, and why is that? Well, for the many reasons mentioned in numbers 3 through 10, replayability is something I have trouble with in nearly every MMORPG that I've played thus far. I find it extremely difficult to reroll because the grind is brutal. I don't have fun, and 9 times out of 10 I end up giving up halfway through leveling a character. However, in TOR, I rolled a Sith Inquisitor, Jedi Consular, Bounty Hunter, Smuggler, Imperial Agent, and Jedi Knight, and on all of them I was able to enjoy the questing to level 15. After which, I decided to stick to one character, the Bounty Hunter, and get it to a higher level. Though some of the classes start in the same zone, their class quests are different. Some quests overlap, and some are kind of meh, but for the most part, I was able to enjoy the questing. As mentioned before, companions play into the replayability for the simple fact that different classes get different companions. It's amazing how this actually plays a factor, and it's because each companion has its own likes and dislikes, as well as their own personal responses. This really makes a difference on your impression in the story. All in all, when compared to other MMOs, I find the replayability of this game a lot more acceptable, to the point that even I will have multiple alts. The content feels fresh, and you're presented with quite a few differences from the last class that you may have rolled. There are tons of paths to venture down, and it certainly makes leveling up a new character feel more like you're almost playing a different game.
So that's it for numbers 2 through 4. If you have any questions or comments, then you can leave a comment below. Now, what do you think will be the number 1 reason that I'm going to play Star Wars The Old Republic? Well, I guess now it's that I am playing Star Wars The Old Republic. You can also follow me on my Twitter, and you can find me on Facebook. Don't forget to check out MMORPG.com for more reviews, guides, and commentary on video games.